Okay, this is Cyberpunk with HLG HDR and dynamic tone mapping off. I have all the graphics maxed out completely, all the ray tracing, and it's 4K DLSS. I'm not a big fan of this game. Actually, I was very disappointed, as many of you, but this is looking fantastic. The difference, the HDR implementation of this game is atrocious. It's so bad that I'm sure most people are just using SDR because there's no way. It's just bad. It's terrible. HDR. Man, this is looking fantastic. Like, just look at this. The sky, see that sun? Super impactful, but you can still see details. So you see all those vehicles on the sky. Let me look at the video and see if you can. Well, there's no vehicles now. I don't know if you saw that. So on the sky, you see there was some vehicles, and I was able to see them. Vehicles driving on the sky, and I was able to see it. So perfect visibility. Look at the colors. I don't remember these colors looking that good. This is such a huge difference. Not only the lighting, which is very, very good, especially with all that ray tracing goodness, but that setting, man. I think that setting is doing a bigger, is making a much bigger difference than. That HDR, HLG HDR is doing a much bigger difference than anything else. This is looking fantastic. Look at that. The reflections on the car are almost blinding me. Not that much to blind me, but it's definitely impactful. But at the same time, it's not eliminating any details. And it looks so much more colorful as a consequence. If it looks more colorful, you tell me, how is this looking? I think it's phenomenal. Wow. So what I'm talking about here, if this is the first video you see, settings, all settings, you step here, 11131111, and you're gonna open this secret menu. You change this from auto to HLG, and you use that over SDR, and basically the TV is going to convert SDR to HDR, and it's going to do that flawlessly. Absolutely perfect. So you come here, brightness, HDR tone mapping off is the best setting. If you want a little bit more brightness, you can turn HDIG, but it is better off, because with off you get higher peak brightness on the highlights, and you don't have any black crush, and it gives you a bigger dynamic range basically. So this is looking really impressive. So the problem with this game, well, there's a lot of things wrong about this game, and I don't like to do videos talking about, oh, this is bad and this is bad, because just complaining about a game is not. There's a lot of YouTube channels that do that. So, but the problem with this game graphics is that I think they are too demanding, and the visual difference is not big enough to justify the performance hit. So you can see, for example, take a look at that performance. The reason why you see me driving very slowly is because the input lag is atrocious. And look at that frame rate, 34 frames. And this is a 3080, 12 gigabytes and look at that frame rate, 34. And this is 4K DLSS. It's not even real 4K. It's using DLSS, and I have the latest update from DLSS. And yeah, you cannot, it's unplayable basically. So, you know, would I go ahead and lower, you know, DLSS to balance and performance and lose clarity? No. I would rather just turn off ray tracing. That's what I would do. So yeah, it's not good. Performance is not good enough for the visual difference. I'm sure I can change the settings now. It's gonna look the same to you. Like, you know, let's change the setting from, let's turn off basically ray tracing. So you see everything was maxed out, all the ray tracing, everything. So what I would do, my settings would be this: no shadows. I don't care about shadows. I don't care about reflections because it doesn't make any, you know, screen space reflections are almost as good as ray trace reflections. And what I would do is I would lower also this one because it's very demanding, and I would just use, for the best lighting, ray trace lighting on Psycho, and see how that looks. Well, the performance is still trash, and it looks about the same, because really that lighting is very, very good on Psycho because it's global illumination. That's the thing that I like the most about that ray trace feature set. But the performance is so bad that it's unusable. In my opinion, it's unusable because I'm not going to lower the fidelity by using balance just to get that lighting. So I'm probably just gonna do this ultra and keep it on quality, and the performance is almost acceptable. It's still not good enough. So yeah, probably gonna end up just turning off ray tracing altogether. And yeah, don't buy into the gimmick, not yet. It's going to get a lot better for sure with the next generation of GPUs. But so far, Metro Exodus is the only game I would say is worth it, because it does look incredible and the performance is good enough, in my opinion. So, you know, you turn it off, it looks almost the same, and the frame rate is a lot better. Still, the way this game feels in terms of responsiveness is bad. Like, this doesn't feel responsive at all, and I'm pushing 76, 75 frames, and boost mode is not gonna help. And this is G-Sync with NVIDIA ultra low latency on, and it doesn't feel responsive a lot. So a lot of people ask me, hey, how about this Motion Pro and input lag? How about this and input lag? The input lag depends a lot on the game, a lot. There are some competitive games that feel extremely good. Let me see. Well, let me tell you this. Boost mode is not supposed to work unless it's 60 frames locked, but it is working. Well, it is working, and it is extremely noticeable. Okay, I have to do a separate video and tell everybody, because this is working. Boost mode is working. It's a huge difference. Yeah. It is working, brother. Boost mode is working with unlocked frames. So based on the reviews that I saw, boost mode was supposed to work only with a lock 60 frames. And I can tell you for sure it's working now. Let me turn it off back again. Still doesn't feel responsive enough, in my opinion. But let me turn it off again. So let me be driving, and I'm gonna click on standard. Okay, maybe see if I can feel the difference driving. Yeah, I feel the lag. It's not working. Okay, no, I didn't change it. No, I didn't change it. So let me change it now. I don't feel it that much on the car. Let me go out of the car. Okay, now I will feel that for sure. Okay, let me turn it off. See if it gets worse. Oh, for sure. For sure. Let me see. Yeah, it is working. 100%. Yeah, it is working. I mean, you have the option to use the setting, so it should be working, but based on the reviews that I saw, this was not supposed to work unless it was a 60 frames locked setting. But it is working. I can tell you that for sure. So yeah, just gonna end the video, just rambling a little bit at the end for the people who stick around. I know most people just watch the first minutes of the videos, but I always want to say more. So if you stick around, you just discover, yeah, boost mode is working. So try it. It is working beyond 60. It doesn't need to be a locked 60 frames.